it's just laptop. That's what you need, and maybe a little pair of speakers or good headphones. I mean, headphones really not necessarily are gonna do the best,
right?
But definitely speakers,
right?
And then you actually create that at least to the point. And I really think that it should be a pride of every musician just to at least get the product, or I would say have their creations, to a certain level. Don't just leave it like, well, I got an idea, cool, I'll get on the YouTube and just put it there,
right.
Because those things last on the
really
YouTube.
Try to develop it further.
People copy that and it's on your resume for the rest of your life. You're not gonna erase it from the YouTube. You take it from YouTube and there's still copies of that.
Right.
But you wanna at least give yourself a little bit of time, get the quality to a certain level, and it's never gonna be perfect. I'm not saying I'm a perfect guitar player or my album is a perfect album.
Well, it's like paintings, right? I mean, you have to know when you're happy with it and when it's finished.
Yeah,
so.
that's it. There's a stage now, it's 10 songs that are done on this, and we're going to the next stage, which will be, maybe a little bit more loungy, new age electronica influence album. Who knows?
Great.
Who knows? I'm thinking about more like in the style of Buddha Bar.
Oh, I love those albums, the series.
Yeah,
I think I have every CD they've almost produced.
I have quite a bit of these.
It's a great series. Yeah.
And
well, I think a lot of things that you mentioned, like what you went through, your experience, I think would be so helpful for so many other guitarists out there. Do you think that you would ever produce maybe like a DVD to show us how you do that, and some productions, maybe some tutorials in that way? Do you think you're going to get into some of that?
Thank you. Yeah, this is a very good idea, and I thought about it. And again, I'm not very excited about giving people advice when I'm not feel ready yet.
Okay.
Which means
sure.
If, but of course I could, maybe I thought I've been teaching guitar for a few decades. Right now I don't teach much anymore because I just don't have much time. But the problem is that if people ask you a lot of questions, and there's a bunch of things, of course, to explain, and I would like to help other guitarists with some issues with the technique, with the speed, with the sound, and things like that. And I would say, again, I'm not a flamenco purist in a way, or a classical purist, and some people may criticize me for that, too. Yeah, I'm classically trained, but I think I know what I'm doing, and I've been through a lot of years of playing, and so I've been through, expensive classical guitars, flamenco guitars, and and eventually I settled on a sort of a medium point, hybrid playing, which involves a cutaway guitar, which allows you to higher range for improvisation. There's a little bit kind of different sound. I use Spanish guitars made in Valencia, and it's excellent instruments. And at the same time, I'm not trying to convince anybody to, trying to buy some certain kind of instruments. I'm very open for what others may ask, in the terms of guitar or maybe software and things like that. I would like to definitely produce something that will help others to maybe with the guitar playing. That's the one aspect. With the techniques of that, with the interpretation, even in a particular genre. And as well as a technology of recording and producing things, and for this, especially for this particular genre, which kind of becomes my specialty, because producing that kind of music, a lot of guitarists. Well, I know a lot of guitarists who never do it themselves because they spend too much time just working on the guitar or eating dinners. No, or I'm not just kidding. But just playing, teaching and things like that. So really, it's more important for them than investing some time into just learning the software. And I know it's not an easy task. And there's certain kind of software I recommend for what I do.
So what's your main composing program, or program where you're doing all your engineering, I would say?
I've done a lot of research and tried a variety of software, from Pro Tools through the German company that produces Wavelab, but there's another software they do, which is the Cubase, and also a few other sort of medium platforms, medium quality platforms, and I always use Cakewalk on some extent level.
So Cakewalk is now Sonar, right?
Yeah, right now is Sonar, so that's pretty much my main host is Sonar. And
And is PC or Mac?
It's all based on PC, and there's, you know, as much as some people are very
like Pro Tools is one of the ones that you hear about.
Yes, you hear about certain, you know, and again, it's just opinions, and it's a standardized system of the music industry that just kind of and advertising that
Sure.
that of course, you know. Will create that pressure on the musician. Well, I have to have Pro Tools because everybody has Pro Tools, or I have to have Logic for a Mac just because everybody uses Logic. I would say that the Sonar is you know, it's similar to Logic for PC, but Sonar has a little bit higher, you know, has quite significant more amount of features than, you know, one can. It's more flexible. You know, it allows you to plug in so many plugins, like very very funky ones. As much as you can load it almost any tiny laptop. As a matter of fact, I have a Sonar loaded on a little netbook.
Like the small netbooks?
Yeah, the little tiny guys, yes.
That's cool. And you have it with you here?
Yes, and a Sonar works perfectly. You can just hook up either with the built-in audio card, but I prefer to have a little output with Behringer, a little tiny box, you know, USB based. And you can just accomplish excellent quality just sitting with the netbook in a hotel room, recording through the microphone or plug in directly, and using the Sonar. I mean, you can, and then you can take it home and work on the 64-bit Sonar, which, you know, you can always switch from 32 to 64. That's the beauty of using Sonar. So you're working on a 32-bit Windows. Let's say Windows. I mostly use Windows 7 right now, but of course you can work on the Windows 7 32 or 64-bit version. But at the same time, the Sonar allows you to switch smoothly, even working on the 32-bit Windows system or 32-bit version. Anytime you can switch to rendering in a 64-bit mode or listening to 64-bit mode, which is really amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing technology. It's kind of a bridging to the new resolution, so you don't have to buy.
So that's like the resolution you would get in the high-end studio, right?
Well, I would say that it's higher, because even the Pro Tools, you have to have like very high-end Pro Tools with a. And then, of course, this is the resolution of the bits, and then, of course, you have a second resolution, which is the resolution of the frequency, which is the 4400 or 48 or 96 kilohertz. You know, and that's something that you also depends on how powerful your computer is and how high you want to go with this amount of sample squeeze in a second. And
it's almost like movie frames, right? In a way, you can make an analogy to film.
Or you can compare it to photography and say, well, this is a very pixelated photo.
Right.
Or you get a very smooth high-end print, so you can print to very huge sizes. So that's the beauty of using good software. And another reason I use PC technology is just because it's so easy to access it from, you know, buy any laptop very quickly, configure. Plug in any sound card, and I have a very high-end custom built workstations. You know, they're super quiet. You know, they don't make any sound. They have like huge hard drives, great sound cards. You know, FireWire-based sound cards. And I'll create a tutorial that I will probably publish sometimes.
Because even the fans, you know, can make sound that influences that.
Yeah, anything. I mean, the cat can come in the room, right? But the point is that you're trying to eliminate all those sounds, you know, from your recording environment, the mastering environment. And I think it's less expensive and more successful for me, at least, since I know the platforms very well, just to work in an environment. And again, I don't have anything against other systems like Macintosh or Pro Tools or whoever is happy with whatever. You can use the Unix machines. As long as you're producing
beautiful music, it doesn't matter, right?
Absolutely. What I'm trying to say is I like the freedom of having a choice of software, flexibility, enormous amount of flexibility in Sonar, and also enormous amount of flexibility in a PC environment with hardware components are not, you know, you can take whatever you want and build your own hardware version.
And they have lots of creative programmers who are writing really cool plugins.
Constantly, yes, free plugins even. I mean, and it comes with a huge amount of plugins. And another thing is that you know, you can just basically build the stuff yourself almost. And I like that freedom of, you know, having that not being assigned like in Pro Tools to a certain boxes. You know, you have to have a box with you. Okay, what happens if you break the box? I mean, you can record nothing. You have to buy another box.
I see.
You see what happens? I mean, instead of just buying a little cheap like something, which of course Pro Tools has some little version too. But what I'm saying is you can't really, if you want to go higher, you have to buy a bigger box, you know. And again, very simple issues. I experimented with that, went through different stages, went to even like shows, an AM show in LA and all, you know, and it's just, seen, ask the specialist of Pro Table, hey guys, why can I do this? It's like, well, no, you cannot do it in this one. I was like, what, man? I've been using this in a basic Motu sound card, grade 1, for like the last 5 years. They don't have it in Pro Tools, It's like, come on, guys, you sell something for $1,200 and it's not there.
All you Pro Tool developers, give this guy a call. He's got some great ideas for you.
I don't think I have time for that, but definitely, I think it's a pretty good advice maybe for a beginner, or people who just get into the recording.
In general, it's less expensive in that way too. So you're not locked into a certain platform and limitation of your plugins. So
absolutely, I mean, when you go to Best Buy, you can even buy something really cheap and just try it from there.
But don't buy your guitar at Best Buy, right?
You can buy guitar at Best Buy. I mean, why not, Buy a guitar at the Best Buy, buy a USB cable, hook it up, so the guitar hooks up for USB to the computer, and here we go, here's a recording studio. Well, but it's not quite what one would consider a high, but it's a good starting point.
Right.
Because, cool. I get a lot of questions about where to start.
Right. Just get started is always the best advice in anything there.
And try not to go with the industry pushed and advertising pushed solutions. Just sort of work on your own, figure it out, look on the internet.
You're famous for doing lots and lots of research in each area, so I'm sure that would be your advice to everyone.
I think I did too much research.
No, I don't think it's never, too much,
Yeah, but it's the more you research, the more you find. That's the thing. And today with the internet, and with simple services that you can really reach, it's quite easy to figure out yourself. But again, experience of years and comparisons is irreplaceable.
Right.
So if you spend those years, those decades just working, figuring out things, you may actually, in a way, limit yourself to a certain direction. Like, let's say somebody works with particular guitar systems or guitar type, or of course you become, but that's how you become specialized, and you can offer the knowledge to other people to help them to also become much quickly specialized in that particular profession.
Well, great.
So it's time to enjoy the beach soon.
Yes. Well, so tell us, where can we buy your CD?
The CD is available on the website, and several services, distributors.
And your website is?
atlantaflamenco.com, www.atlantaflamenco.com, which will be on this video. I think it will be featured as a link. And you can go there and read a little bit more about what I'm doing, and there's a direct link there to CD Baby. CD Baby is distributing to a lot of different networks like Amazon or iTunes and many others, so it will be soon available in the others. And again, I highly recommend to write me an email or simply register for my little newsletter, so I can keep in touch with you, and if you have any questions, I can always answer that as well, and I'm pretty good with that. And as well as I can recommend to go to my like photo album and see a little bit of photos, and
and I saw a picture of you and Betty White, so that's exciting.
I have much more of those. I just put like few favorite people I work with or work for, and play for their parties or private events, and
cool.
I really like that.
That'll be fun to check it out.
It's fun to do that. And another thing I would recommend for all the musicians or aspiring artists, just to really work on learning the technology of the internet, the designing websites, creating multimedia, recording or videos and things like that as well. It's very important these days to embrace the technology, because that's the way we're going to communicate with people in the future.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Witold, for your time, and
thank you very much.
Taking a break on your beautiful vacation here in the Maya Riviera. So we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, thank you.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Ciao.